What is up, all my fellow operatives? My name is the Nemesis, James Taylor, and this is the season finale of the Nemesis sessions. Now, normally I would introduce a guest, but tonight, unfortunately, I don't have a guest. But it is open for anybody that is wanting to join and talk with James Taylor, because we're going to talk wrestling tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about everything, just whatever comes to mind, mostly. I see that we already got one guest possibly that's going to be in here in just a minute. But first, I wanted to say thank you to all my operatives out there for 24 awesome episodes. This is the 24th episode. This is the season finale for season 1 of the Nemesis sessions. And trust me, we'll be starting off with a banger in season 2, episode 1 in just a few weeks. But nonetheless, let's close this season out. And what a memorable year and a memorable season it's been. We've had some awesome guests on here, and I could do what I can to go through it and just talk a little bit about everybody that's been on the Nemesis sessions. But I think what I'm going to do before we get into that is how many fans of pro wrestling are out there? How many fans of backyard wrestling? How many fans in general are there that watch this broadcast, that watch and listen to this podcast and enjoy it? That's what I want to know. Feel free to say anything that you want that's in the thing. Let me go ahead and get this set up. But you know what? We're going to have somebody. We're going to have somebody come on in. Let's go ahead and bring him into the stream. And it looks like it's Mr. Omen Black. Mr. Omen Black, hello and welcome.
Hello, James.
There it is. Now he's got a little bit of sound. How you doing today, sir?
You know, I just want to come on here just to watch.
Oh, just to watch.
But I got pulled. Now I got pulled into this Nemesis session with you. It's just bringing up, I don't know, some hostility.
No, we don't need no hostility. You see, this is my podcast, and all I'm wanting to do is just talk about this season and talk about all the memorable moments we've had and everybody that's been on the show. I've had IMF wrestling, and that was a pretty entertaining thing. So,
yes, you did. You know what, James? We may not like each other, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You heard that saying before.
Oh, yeah.
So I count you as my friend. And I'm a huge fan of the Nemesis sessions. And, you know, I've been supporting of you since I found out about this channel a couple months back. And huge fan, and I hope you get season 2 or whatever next season. It's going to be huge.
Definitely. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, season 2 will be in a couple of weeks, maybe in a month or so. But I promise you, the first episode is going to be a banger. But that ain't about that right now. This is about the season finale right here, the last episode. This has been the first season of a podcast I didn't know would do too well, but it has done well. It's actually gone over, and that I'm very proud of and happy. 24 episodes. And I'd just like to say, actually, you know what? Since you're here, Omen, if I got a quick minute of your time, you cannot be biased and say yourself or your podcast. But other than that, was there any other episode that you may have seen or watched or listened to that you actually enjoyed?
Actually, the latest one with the Prophet Jay Wild.
The Prophet Jay Wild. Okay.
Which I think that guy is full of shit.
He's full of shit. Now, why is that?
Listen, he can call himself the prophet. He can call himself whatever higher power that he is. He's nothing compared to Omen Black.
Nothing compared to Omen
Black.
Black.
Am I saying I want to wrestle him? Absolutely not. I want to waste my time with the prophet.
You don't want to waste your time with the prophet?
But I would like to meet the prophet one of these days.
Never say never.
And also on that episode, Captain Law showed his mic skills. That Bailey guy, had me laughing, had me rolling.
Yeah, the Bailey guy. He's I've known him for a little over 2 years, and that's with the promo wrestling and whatnot. But hey, you know what? So the people can see you and talk with you. I know you're probably busy right now. When do you think you'll be somewhere where you can actually speak and everybody can see you?
Here within the next 10, 20 minutes.
Okay. You think might have any other little surprise guests in your neck of the woods that might be interested in saying hello?
You know, the House of Wolves are pretty busy, so I think you're just going to deal with Omen Black, if that's
I,
okay with you,
okay, I
James.
got you. Yeah, that's no problem. That's no problem, Bob. I see. I understand. Completely understand. Well, how about I'll go ahead and let you go for right now. I got another guest here, and then whenever you're ready, if you feel like coming back, then you just go ahead and come on back when you're more at ease, so you're more comfortable to where you can talk with everybody.
All right.
All right, Mr. Black. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got another person before we bring him on. Oh, here we go. Glad to see that you liked it. Bailey said that, Omen, if you're watching or you're listening. Bailey said that he's glad that you liked it. So, yeah, as you can tell, Mr. Bailey, a lot of people were entertained. And fun fact, Mr. Bailey right here, or what he used to call the Yorkshire Center, was actually episode 3, chapter 3. It's in the Nemesis Sessions playlist, which is on this channel. So if you'd like to go and check that out, by all means, go check that episode out. It's very entertaining. Episode 3, chapter 3 with the Yorkshire Center, now known as Mr. Bailey. Bailey, thank you so much. I hope we can hear more about it. Now, I can't really say which episode was my favorite because I loved them all. You know, the very first episode was probably one of the, nerve-wracking ones because of who, I had Sarge on here, and that was a really entertaining episode. I didn't know where it was going to go. Have to have an updated session for sure. That's right. You never know. Season 2 will be within a month. Could have you on an episode of that for sure. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite my next guest, and it's Mr. PJ Party. PJ,
no.
Welcome back to the Nemesis Sessions. You were actually on an episode once before, but welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, you could see I'm in the training facility getting ready for my match tomorrow. You could tell this is one of Skippy's places. This is his house, in
oh yeah,
near the arena. So,
well, yeah, that's absolutely true. No doubt about that. But of all the episodes of the Nemesis Sessions, let me ask you. I'm asking everybody that comes in here for a minute. Only if you have. If not, no biggie. But other than yourself, other than your own episode, did you actually have an episode that you were entertained or that you liked?
you see, like, I like the ones when you're kind of critiquing, the wrestling federations. That made me laugh when you were like, okay, this guy's doing this and this guy's doing that, and you could do this better, but you kind of do it in such a way that like it's truthful, but it also makes you kind of laugh. It makes you think,
Mm-hmm.
So you're fair.
Yeah. I'm not biased. I'm trying to be as understanding as I can.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Bailey coming in here talking is trying to have an updated session. Okay, good deal. So basically, what I think PJ is talking about is kind of like when I talked about how some of the other feds were back in the day. See, when I first started this, there was another company going on, and it was called KCW. I call it Crappy Championship Wrestling. And I could go ahead and throw a little bit of that out there right now. I mean, it's in the past, but why not share it? Because some of these viewers do not understand what it is. There's a world outside of pro wrestling, backyard wrestling, indie wrestling, 2K Fed wrestling called promo wrestling. And in the promo Fed community, there's quite a few promotions. It actually started with just maybe a small on one hand list of different companies. And they molded into what they became. Not to say which ones are the biggest ones or whatnot, but nonetheless, they all molded from that. And that was about 2 years ago when TikTok started getting real hot and heavy. Nonetheless, PWF went down, but it was actually in between seasons. It was basically went down season 1 and had a big fallout. Everything happened. And then this place called KCW was created and invented. And it was a very interesting group, not really the people, but a very egotistical owner. And I'll keep his name unlisted. But this isn't about bullying. It's just, hey, power is power. People want creations. People want this. People want that. They see the way somebody's doing something and how successful they could be. And then they're like, I want a piece of that pie. I want to be able to say I could do that too. It's not an easy thing. When I created Promo Wrestling Federation, just like I created this channel called Taft Taylor, just like I created my TikTok, the Nemesis _84, just like I created this podcast myself, the Nemesis Sessions, it wasn't just something that was instantly thrown out and just something that was made perfect. You got to put work into it. And a lot of these guys out here, and even in the backyard world, even in the pro wrestling world, in these circuits, everything, the only way you could get a promotion or something over is to put the work and the grind into it. You could go out and say, hey, I run such and such business. Okay, well, what is it? I don't know nothing about it. Well, come watch it because we're so great. Well, let me see what you got, because just one person, if they think it's great, just because they're in it, that's biased. But if you see a fan watch it and they enjoy it, they might go share it with their brother or their sister or their cousin or a friend of theirs and move on and on and on. That's how you build it. It's called stepping stones. I didn't build PWF, just from the thought in my head. I worked it from the ground up. Taft Taylor YouTube, almost 28,000 subscribers, PJ. That's not something that's a very easy task. I built it from the ground up. Yeah, so like Bailey's saying right here, screw KCW, hated that place, felt like a prison. Yeah, I know. You see, because you had a egotistical, tyrant-like owner who thought that he owned everybody and told everybody where it was. I mean, it's not right. And that's not what the promo community is today. The promo community, you know what? I know you probably got something you'd like to say. What you want to say, PJ?
Look, when I first got involved in this, it was through Skippy. And Skippy, you want to try this out? I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I came out, okay, sure. I figured, what do you do? I'm just thinking, you just do a shoot with somebody and you yell and scream at them. And people still do that. People still are just like, they reduce it to that. And that's originally what I thought it was. And then I started to see that people were doing like so much more than that, that it wasn't just about, hey, F you and your dog too,
Yeah.
It was so much more. You build these like storylines, you put artwork into it, you put effects into it. And me and Skippy just yesterday were watching a promo of the Ultimate Warrior and Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about how amazing it was and how much work was put into it. And, they had to, the emotional effects. And you saw Jake Roberts and he really came off as sinister and evil. And, and you believed it, and back in the day, being a kid, I believed it. So I guess I could say, like, when it comes to promoing, it's really about making it believable. Like Jim Cornette even says it. You have to make it believable, because if it's not believable and you're just shouting at somebody like you're a guy in the supermarket because somebody took your groceries, it's not going to work. Like people are going to be like, okay.
Yeah, definitely understandable. And I completely understand you. Look, Bailey's saying the promo community has become something more than just TikTok. People really do take this seriously now. It's a mind game. It truly is an art. Yes and no. Actually, it is an art. I mean, it's just like in wrestling. I can't say it enough. A wrestling promo is different than a battle rap promo. There's two different things. They're both a promo because you're delivering a message to your opponent. I get it. I'm developed in a wrestling aspect, so I'm going to talk trash to my opponent as if I'm going to get into the ring and beat his ass. That's how I am. That's how I can. There's the judged promo leagues, and there's nothing wrong with that. NGT, great community. Go check them out. But they're a different type of federation. And there's so many different types of federations that are out there. There's judged leagues, there's kayfabe leagues, and now, because I'm kind of molded it into it, 2K leagues. And that is why Promo Wrestling Federation is what it is. You cut promos on your opponent, and then you create your character through the video game of WWE 2K of whatever game that is out. Like this year, it's 2K22, which is great. And that is what it is. Let's see. PJ, who is 5 promo artists that inspire you? Okay, somebody wants to know, PJ, who are 5 promo artists that inspire you? That's a good question.
That's a great question. That's a great question, Irish Outlaw. 5 promo artists that inspire me. I'd have to say, well, the number 1 top on my list is The Rock. I have to put The Rock at the top of my list because...
wait, hang on. So... I guess it leads to the question. I think he's saying promo artists, meaning like in our promo community, not in the
in the promo community. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Throughout.
All right. So if we're talking about the promo community, oh boy, there's a couple. But obviously the man that got me started, Skippy. I have to pay homage a little bit to him because he's the one who got me started. He's putting a lot of work in. Helping me out, and so I have to put his name on there. I'm gonna say Leech. I know Leech and I have had our differences, but you know what? Leech is a good guy.
Yeah,
and he's good at what he does. And I hope to see more. I know he hasn't been promoting lately, but Leech really does treat it like it's an art form, and I would say Leech is one of my favorites.
Nice.
I would say, well, you obviously, James. I would say you're one of my favorites.
Why is that?
I would say you're one of my favorites because you're extremely animated, and you throw humor elements into it, but you also throw everybody would. And I know you've heard the criticism. Oh, James, you just copy Stone Cold. But you do it in such a way that, it's not, you see what I'm saying? Like they say, you do it in a way that works for you. I mean, many people could have said, oh, well, PJ, you're kind of copying like one of the rockers from the 80s or, like one of those, cheesy 80s guys. And it could be said that way, but I do it in my way.
Okay.
So that's was that number 3? I have 2 more.
That was 3. So who's number 4?
Number 4? I'd have to say Lone Wolf. I know it's a little biased, but I would have to say Lone Wolf. He has been putting out like really, really amazing stuff.
Okay, and number 5.
Number 5. If we're just talking PWF here, I would say Corey Monroe. Corey Monroe has been doing some really good stuff.
Interesting. So
it's kind of a tie between Corey Monroe and possibly, I would say maybe Beans or Sarge. All these guys, they're amazing. Lethal Injection. It's hard to pick just one.
So Bailey coming in here asking, who in your eyes are the top 10 promo artists in the whole entirety of the game, both of you? So you've named 5 already, but let's cut it down. Let's just cut it down to 5.
Yeah.
Bailey. So since he's already named his 5, that's actually
tough, right? I know you're going to pick Lethal Injection as one of yours. That's got to be, and I wouldn't blame you because Lethal is good. So I know you're going to pick Lethal. You may as well put him on your list, James. Lethal and Peter, I know are going on your list, and they're both amazing.
All right, it's really tough to think about because there's so many good ones.
There's a lot.
there's so many that I've gone against, and I've seen come a long way as well. Let's go ahead and just start off with the obvious one. I'm going to say Lethal Injection first, and that's because, let me tell you real quick, and I got a reason behind every single person that I would pick. And it doesn't matter how good they are. Every single person I pick, I got a reason. Lethal Injection, because when we first started in PCW, the guy came in, he cut a promo, and he reached out to everybody. He didn't know who the owner was. It was through Kent. He talked to his opponent. I forgot exactly who his opponent was. But nonetheless, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, man, I see your stuff. Can you help me with my promo or critique me and tell me what you think?" And I told him. And as the weeks progressed, it's like he was getting overlooked. Kent kept overlooking him, the owner. Other people kept overlooking him. And he's like, "I'm about to give up. I don't understand what's going on." I was the only one communicating with him because nobody else was giving him the time of day. And I said, "Look, I already like you. I can already see where you're going with it. I see the passion in it. I see the fan. I see the heart in you. Don't stop." What does John Cena say? A lot of people give him shit, but I actually believe in those damn words. Never give up. And I told him, I said, "Don't give up on this, dude. I'd like to go against you one day." He goes, "You serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, man. All right, I won't." And now look at him.
He's amazing.
He's one of the, for PWF at least, he's one of the greatest promo artists. Everybody seems to want to go with him. Everybody seems to want to go against him. Everybody seems to want to talk about him. I watched a guy I know, Server Error. I watched his little podcast and his stream on Twitch about a week or so ago, and he wanted to see a PWF promo, and I recommended Lethal's, and he watched Lethal's, and everybody in this chat was like, "Whoa, who's this guy? Wow." And I'm like, that's why he's the world champion at that time before Buddha won. So there it is. If we were to go to number 2, people can think all they want. I'm going to say Peter Richards. Peter Richards was a guy who, when he came in, same aspect. He kind of came in and he jumped on the biggest dog he thought he could find, and it was me. And I was going to test him. Either I was going to scare him off or he was going to stand up toe-to-toe with me. Because in my eyes, if any promo artist watching this doesn't believe in this, if you don't believe you're the absolute best that there is and nobody can beat you, then, and you don't believe it in your own heart, and you look at this camera and you talk the trash you do to your opponent, your audience isn't going to believe you. And that's how I am. That's how James Taylor is. And Peter Richards came in and he didn't back down. And he became what he was to call himself, a wrestling god. I mean, everybody knows that. He was episode 2 also. Great guy. Highly recommend him. Not to try to blow a bunch of smoke up all these guys' asses, but I'm going to say that. You know, Peter Richards, number 2. If I was to go, I don't want to. There's so many I could put on this list.
Yeah.
I can't all pick PWF because he said for the entirety of the promo community.
Oh, the entirety?
Yeah.
See, I picked all PWF guys, but if we're talking the entirety, I would have probably put Wade Morgan's on my list. If we're talking NGT, Wade Morgan, since I'm working with him now, and I've always worked with Wade, Wade is fucking amazing. And he's an amazing human being as well. So I would say if we're talking NGT, I would say Wade Morgan's. If we're talking KCW, see, that would be Corey Monroe and Phantasmo. There's a couple of guys over there, like, you know, that were there, I should say, former KCW.
I was going to say, interestingly enough, that's actually a guy. I mean, he's in PWF. He's only really had one match, but he promos for other feds and stuff. I got a lot of respect for him. I like it. Interesting guy would be Phantasmo.
Yes.
I'm going to say that because I like the guy and I respect him, and he's shown me nothing but love and respect at the same time. Very creative, very interesting character. And I like to see where else he goes. I'd like to see him do more work in PWF. If you're hearing this, Phantasmo, that's just me throwing it out there. But hey, never say never. Yeah. Number 4. This one might shock some people. I am a fan of Corey Monroe. Let me tell you why. when he first came in, he was part of Bailey's little group that he had. He had a fed that he did for the 2K thing, and it was him and Dean Morris and some others. And when him and Dean came in, he brought them. He thought they graduated enough to come to PWF. They came to PWF when I first met Corey, shy cat. He was just shy as can be. He was real monotoned. He hadn't found himself yet. It was like, who is this guy? We called him Grandmaster. And his debut match in PWF was him and Dean Morris versus James Taylor in a handicap match. Now, I humbled them. I beat their ass, and it is what it is. But what I'm getting at is he was really monotone. He hadn't quite found himself yet, and he was known as Grandmaster. Then all the shabam happened. KCW happened. He went off. A lot of guys went off to mold themselves into the superstars that they became. And now, and behind the scenes, while KCW was going, I was watching some of these guys. He was one of those guys that got my attention because he got loud. He got very straight to the point. He was very cutthroat, and he knew exactly what he meant and believed every word he said, just like I had stated that any promo artist should do. And I was really actually proud of the fact to see that happen. And that's why I'm glad to have him come to PWF. And I believe that he was worthy of becoming a tag team champion. And nonetheless, he did become one. He beat Peter Richards and Buddha to become the World Tag Team Champions. And he's doing a great job running his own Fed, RKW, I believe it is. Go check him out. It's all good. So that's 4, right?
It's hard, right? You got to think of all these people and all these places they're in. See, I would have even wanted to mention Kenneth Hardy because the Dark Angel's done some really good stuff as well.
Dark Angel, honorable mentions and stuff like that. I get that.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me think about that number 5 because there's so many people. I'm gonna have to get back to it. I mean, honestly, let me just go ahead and just put the icing on the cake. I'm gonna say it's a toss-up between 3, and that's gonna be Leech, Sarge, and Buddha. And I'm saying those 3 because, Leech runs his own Fed. He doesn't really do very many promos anymore. Throw Skippy in there as well. Actually, you know what? It'd be those 3 as honorary mentions. Leech, because he's very he has this special tone. When you hear that voice, you know it's Leech.
Hello, my friends.
He's a very mysterious character, a guy that nobody's seen his face. Very, very, very few people in this world have seen his face. I've actually been one of them that has seen it. I've met the guy in person. Cool cat. I like him, and he's really good at what he does. Buddha, real fast, I like to say he's our world champion at PWF. Very intense and serious individual. When he first started, same thing as Lethal Injection. His first match was against me, and he lost. But I told him how to deliver that promo and how to become one of the best that there is. And he ended up being one of the greatest that there is in PWF, at least. And then Sarge was a very arrogant, he was the first arrogant son of a bitch I ever met in the promo community. And I love him to death. He's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Very loyal. And
absolutely.
I've got respect for the guy.
He's one of my best friends. We hang out for real. Sarge and I live near each other, so we hang out in New York City. He is one of the most enjoyable people to be around. He makes me laugh. He's a very, very good person.
Definitely, and he was.
I'm not.
He was episode 1, so definitely go check that out. But my number 5, those were honorary mentions, but number 5 would have to be Skippy the Clown, and that's icing on the cake. And I'm saying that he's only done PWF work. He could do anything he wanted to. But that guy, creativity, not afraid to say it, tell it like it is all about that. That's the biggest thing is the creativity. And when he goes to you, he can come up with a story because he's like one of the ultimate storyteller in promo, period. That's why I'm glad that he's loyal to PWF. I wouldn't mind seeing him do work in other places, but he's happy where he's at, and I'm not going to change his mind. So if you want to see more Skippy the Clown, please. He's episode 17, by the way. He was a really fun podcast. So let's go ahead and move right along. Bailey asked, who's the toughest opponent you've ever gone against?
Oh, I got this.
And actually, let me introduce somebody else real quick. Mr. Diego. Diego, are you there?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Diego? I'm sorry, I know you were waiting just a little bit, but welcome to the Nemesis Sessions. How are you today, kid?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, if you could answer this, who do you think would be the toughest opponent you've ever gone against in the promo community?
Who toughest opponent? Toughest opponent has to be. Damn. I think it's Corey Monroe.
Corey Monroe. Okay.
He's excellent. Yes, he's very good.
DJ.
And DJ. Okay. Now, why would you pick those two?
Because they're very good promo artists, in my opinion.
Okay. Fair enough. PJ, what about you? Who do you think would be the toughest guy or toughest opponent you've ever had?
Very easily Lethal Injection, because Lethal Injection went promo for promo for promo with me. Every time I'd put out a promo, he was putting out one within 5 seconds. So he's like relentless. I don't know, like he'll have his job. He'll go into the bathroom, shoot a promo. I'm like, he's amazing. He is amazing. Like he'll get right back to you within seconds of you doing it. So when me and him were going against each other, when I was Leo the Terrible, I could tell you that there had to have at least been about 15 promos between us, to the point where people were asking us to stop. They were like, could y'all stop, making promos and tagging us? It's getting quite annoying. So that was why, like I said, he was tough, because every time he put out a promo, I felt like I had to put out one, and vice versa.
There you go.
So, yeah.
If it was for me, this is probably going to shock a lot of people. Depends on how many people's watching. In my entire career, I enjoy every opponent that I get. It's always something new. It's always something different. And I look forward to the fight. It's really hard. If it was toughest opponent, would be in the judged leagues, because I didn't understand the aspect, and I didn't understand how it worked. I understand how it works now, but it was from a judged league, and I'm going to say it out there because I like him and I respect him, and I know he feels the same about me, and that is actually the Natural. The Natural is I like him, got a lot of respect for him, and I actually had a promo battle with him, and for some reason, he was very difficult. He was a tough guy for me to figure out. I thought I had it. Clearly, I didn't. If it was a kayfabe league, it'd be a completely different story. But nonetheless, I like him. I liked his work, and I'd like to see him more in kayfabe world too. I know what he could do in the judge leagues, and there's nothing wrong with that. No disrespect to it. I'd like to see what he could do in the kayfabe world. So Natural, if you are watching this, if you ever feel froggy and you want to come over to PWF and join the 2K League at least once for a match or two, let me know or let somebody know, and I'd love to work with you there. But yeah, surprisingly, he was probably my toughest opponent. So we're getting some interesting. Now, PJ, Diego and PJ, I'm going to let y'all go for right now. I can put you on a back burner, and I can bring y'all back in if you want to come back in, okay?
You got it.
I'm just giving everybody a shot. Diego, is there anything else that you wanted to say before I let you go?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what would you like to say?
I would like to say that I was in RKW the first ever, and I mean first ever, inaugural, a revolutionary champion. First ever champion in the business.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also tag team partners with Corey Monroe.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, hey, I appreciate you being here. I hope that you still want to do some stuff with PWF for season 4. If you do, you know the door's always open to you.
I'm in a break, so I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, take your break, and that's fine. But if you just understand, I've got no ill will with you, and you're always welcome, and the door is open to you, man.
All right. I'll see you.
All right. We're good to see you, and I'll talk to you after a while. So I'm going to get that, and then we got okay. So we got another question. Thoughts on the true A-list star, the Sarge UC Plus player? I guess that was something to Mr. PJ Party. PJ, real fast, did you see that comment?
I saw that comment. Yes, Sarge. All I'm going to say is that tomorrow's going to be an interesting show. I'm not going to talk about what happens, but Sarge, just prepare yourself for PJ Party. That's all I'm going to say.
He said prepare yourself.
You and I, we're not done yet,
Can't wait. Can this C+ player just shut up? Oh my God, he's making me fall asleep.
Do you want me to come back? I'm only a train ride away. Do you want me to come back?
He said,
and put you to and put you in a sleeper hold and put you to sleep? Because I could do that if you want.
he said, out of character. Why? Thank you, and likewise.
Much love to you, Sarge. Much love to you. Go back to work. Or go to bed for work tomorrow.
Well, thank you, PJ, and I'll get
Much
back
love to you guys. Much love.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna add another guy in here. Eddie Orton.
How's it going?
How are you?
I'm doing very good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, we got a quick question. We can both answer it. What are your thoughts about Outlaw tweeting about a potential Peter Richards Irish Outlaw Saga Part 2?
Well, I don't really know much about the saga that happened before because I just recently joined PWF in about November. But I'm actually down to see it.
Nice.
I'm down to see it. Yeah.
It would be interesting. I was there for the first go round, so very interesting, of course. Hey, I guess it's if Peter Richards wants to answer the challenge, right, Irish? All you got to do is just call him out, and maybe we'll see it in season 4. Who knows? And by the way, season 3 ends March 16th. The last episode will be a pay-per-view. So definitely check that out tomorrow night. I Accelerate. The pay-per-view will be named, so stay tuned to that. Now, what do we got here? Okay, so we got other people coming, and that's fine. Mr. Eddie Orton,
Yes, sir.
welcome for the first time to the Nemesis sessions. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good to know. Good to know for sure. I'm good. Eddie Orton is a kayfabe wrestler in the promo community, ladies and germs, my fellow operatives that I was talking about. He hadn't been on an episode until now. But hey, let me ask you what I ask a lot of other people. You can't be biased, but you know what? It doesn't count because you weren't on an episode. Of all the episodes that are out, have you watched any of them? And if so, did one stand out to you that you enjoyed and you were entertained a lot?
I'm gonna be honest. Like I watched bits and pieces of some of them. Like I never really watched a full episode. I did watch the recent one, but I think it might have been actually no. That was the PWF press conference show. Never mind. Yeah, I never really watched a full episode.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well that's fine. I see
to be
how
honest,
it is. You big piece of trash. Irish Outlaw coming in here saying primetime Eddie who?
This guy. This guy.
Already talking trash to you.
This guy. Me and Irish is very. I mean, if you got some time, I can tell you a little bit of me and Irish's kind of story, like backstory. So Irish, when I first came into kayfabe, I'm not gonna say the name of it, but
It don't
when I
matter.
when I came into the company, Irish was actually one of the first ones who actually took me behind his wing. So we've been rolling with the story how he's the teacher, I'm the student, and we recently had a story in TEW where we followed that. So everywhere we fight in company, that's kind of the story that we go because that's like a backstage thing. No one really knows that Irish, taught me a lot of stuff about hoeing. So I just showed Irish out of character, but in character he's a piece of trash. But
There you go. Excuse me. Zion said, I'd actually like to see Irish Outlaw versus Icarus Haxon. Yeah, that would be an interesting matchup for sure. Bailey saying Eddie has to be the nicest guy in any promo league. And speaking of Bailey, let's go ahead and introduce him. Mr. Bailey,
yo,
welcome back to the Nemesis session.
Bailey's my guy. Bailey's
There
my
we
guy.
go.
I
There
gotta
we
be
go.
honest, like I'm gonna go out of character, but like when he first left the breaks, man, I was so bummed because like I was so entertained in everything that Bailey did, and this isn't just because he's staying there. Like I've told him this all the time. Like I love Bailey. He's awesome.
Respect to you, man. Respect to you. Respect. Hey,
And
Irish
see, like,
Outlaw. Fuck you. Fuck you,
and,
Irish.
and honestly, about being nice, there's no reason to really be angry or be mad at anybody. I'm just in
You
here to
just
have a good. I'm in here to escape my life and have fun. Talking trash when I normally don't talk trash to anybody, but
There
like
it is.
that's what I'm here to do, you know. And if I win championships and friends along the way, hey, that's even better.
The link is in the Discord, Irish Outlaw.
Oh
All you got to
no,
do
don't
is
let him
find the
on.
link.
Don't let him on. Oh
If he
no.
comes in, if he comes in, you better be out of character, bro.
Oh
There it
God.
is. Somebody already wanting to talk a little bit. Appreciate you, Bailey, coming on here and making your screen full. But how about you? You know, you were episode 3 on the Nemesis sessions, and thank you for that. And that was real fun. But of all the episodes that there have been, I know you make little appearances and you've watched a few. Was there any, you can't be biased to say your own, but was there any other ones that you liked that you were entertained on?
I think the Joshua Allen episode. I can't quite remember it. Obviously, I'm not being biased because I obviously intervened on it. But you had Anthony Steele on it, and then you had me, and it got into such an entertaining thing to watch, and I find myself watching it back every now and again. So Josh Allen, he's very entertaining to just talk shit at. So he's good. He's class. Yeah.
He is. He's really good. I call him the backyard announcer of the world.
Exactly. He is our version of Jim Ross. So
So being here, what would you say is probably your toughest opponent in the
oh,
promo community?
uh, it wasn't technically a match. It was more of a battlegrounds. But I'd have to say Dior, Prince Dior. He's an NGT guy. But he came over to Killing Creative Wrestling. We won't name drop them. And we did a battlegrounds, and here's me sitting here thinking I'm just going to get 1 round out of him. No, I had to take it to 3 rounds because he were at that level, and I still didn't beat him. He just, and still now, he's one of the best, and he's so hard to beat. He's so hard to get to that level. He's so fast. He thinks about it on the spot, and he's just so tough. But like, I'm glad we're good mates and that he respects me because I don't really want to feud with that guy.
That was a great battle too. That was a great battle.
It was fun, but so hard. So hard.
That's completely understandable because I know what that's like.
Nigel's good as well. Natural. Natural's good. I haven't faced him yet, but I'm sure.
See, I
sure it's
haven't
good.
faced any of those guys yet either. I don't think I ever want to face Prince Dior, but
I also saw your match with KG, James. You did some pretty good stuff against KG. KG is probably up there, top 5 nearly. So you did well. You did amazing against KG.
He wanted to work with me, and I wanted to work with him, and it was
nice.
interesting. You know, I on this anything. I mean, you can say whatever. I have my personal feelings about judge leagues. It is what it is.
I agree.
And how I lost, but I'm not going to bitch about it either. Nonetheless, it was still interesting. I put in work that I never put in before. I got creative with my promos, but I know that's what you got to do when you do NGT style promos.
Hey,
Mama used
KG is one of the owners. KG
yeah,
is one of the owners, and you took it to him. So props to you. Props to you.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
for sure.
like I said at the beginning of this, I'm my style of promo, and everybody knows it, is in your face and I'm ready to fight you type promo.
Yep.
Not I got to think of a creative way to insult this guy. You know, it's harder for me, but hey, nonetheless, it was entertaining at that.
You're a
Let's see.
'90s guy. You're an Attitude Era, Hogan Era type guy. That's right.
Yeah,
I've always known you as that.
I get that a lot, you know, and I get that a lot from a lot of people. Did either of you two, question real quick, have either of you two seen my promo on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube where I called out MJF? Have you?
I saw it. I saw it, and
You remember it now?
it was something where it's like this guy is kind of out of his depth, but in
Well,
actual fact, it's something that it'd be quite intriguing.
so I got a lot of feedback on that, and surprisingly, got a lot of feedback on it. Where is TikTok, real quick? And a lot of people said I would actually go and watch this guy, and I was
Nice.
shocked. So,
You just got to keep tagging him now.
well, I said I basically put in the comments, who else would y'all like to see me fight or call out? You know, and people would tell me. Somebody said call out Roman Reigns. I just haven't done that
Oh
yet.
God!
I know, right?
Why don't you call out your hero?
Call out Stone Cold. That would be
Yeah,
a very interesting one.
that'd
But
be
Yeah.
funny.
see, here's some of the, you know, because it can't be no other way. That's extremely powerful. He made it that. You made it. You made that one look, sound, and be feel real good. I said thank you. Great promo. Reminds me of the good old days. See, that's one of those right there. It's just like, I guess my style makes people think that. My man just cut the sickest promo. This dude. I don't even know who these guys are. Real easy to be tough as an E-Fed member and wish Stone Cold MJF is gold on the mic and would destroy this guy. I said, who said I'm the only E-Fed member? And I'd love to see him try and destroy me. And then this said, please whoop MJF. Please, I cannot stand him. You know, it was just something different to do, something fun. Got 223 likes on it, which was pretty cool. Let's
Awesome.
see.
Hey, look, you're always gonna get critics. If you didn't have critics, you wouldn't be able to develop. So you're gonna get them.
Mr. Mikey the Darkness, a guy that I haven't seen in quite a long time. How are you today? How are you, Mikey? I don't know if you can hear us. Can you hear us? Oh, he's gone. Okay.
Guess
Well,
not.
to the point, let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Omen Black from IMF Wrestling. Now,
I'm not sure who that is.
this guy is a backyard wrestler.
Nice.
This is a company that's based
How's
out
it
of
going?
Iowa. How you doing, Mr. Black?
Bailey, huge fan of yours.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
Bailey,
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
know
tell
I
you
had.
this. Captain
I didn't
Dale
know I had
got
them.
lucky. Disconnected from the chat.
Do what?
I'm gonna tell you this. Captain Law got so lucky that Bailey left the last Nemesis session because I know he would have ate Captain Law alive.
I had to go to bed. He weren't worth my time, but if he wants my time, PWF, he knows where it's at. If he wants it, I've told him he looks like a tech support virgin, but it's okay.
Oh, man. So you see, Bailey, and this goes to a lot of guys. Eddie, you're here. If you listen to me, everybody listen up. You see, what I'm doing behind the scenes in the promo community is I'm doing the backyard stuff and the indie wrestling stuff. And I am promoting and sharing you guys with the world. And look, you got fans that you've never met and don't even know about because they see your work and they see how y'all are. And you're welcome. So
thank you.
I ain't fucking paying you.
But that's honestly how it should be. It should be that you're here for fun, and that's all that it is. Mr. Black, so I guess you're not driving around in your car and we're listening to your Walmart Wi-Fi now. So how are you tonight, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Now let me tell you about Omen Black. He's in a company and there's this group. What are you called? The puppy dogs? Oh. Where is he? Is he there? I am the real Marvin Masker. He said Gage Flair.
Gage Flair sucks.
There he is.
Gage Flair sucks.
He does not like Gage Flair.
I don't like Gage Flair.
There you go. Understandable. Hey, I beat him. So
hey, whooped his ass.
I took him to school. Now,
I don't think Omen's thing's working. I saw a bit of his ginger beard, but that was it.
Oh, okay. He had a different thing. There it is. All right.
There he is.
There we are.
My ginger beard.
Yeah.
Hey, don't talk about the beard color. We're matching.
Yours is just a little better than mine, but it's all right. It's all right.
What can we do to grace your presence here, Mr. Black?
I'm just here to. When I first met you, James, I was told that you're trying to build this episode where you do a round table of promo guys, PWF, whatever you call Dale, Linton, or Captain Law, whatever the hell he is, and wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming this is that type of episode.
It can be in a kind of way. It just depends on who wants to show up. But apparently everybody's too busy licking themselves or something right now. And hey, that is what it is. So, not to sound like a jerk, but what is your group called? Enlighten Bailey and Mr. Eddie Orton here. What is your group called in IMF?
We are called the House of Wolves.
The House of Wolves. And
Right.
These guys run IMF Wrestling. So, let me tell you about one of these guys. One of these guys, his name is Jeff Daniels. His name's actually, I'll give the kid credit. His name's Freddie Daniels. For some reason, people love to see him get his ass kicked on IMF. Why is that, Omen Black?
I got no fucking clue.
Has he got a punchable face?
Yeah.
That'll be it. Yep.
That'll be
it. He's like the Spike Dudley of the backyard wrestling world.
He looks like a Wish.
What can you do?
He looks like a Wish version of Steve Buscemi. That's what he looks like.
Oh boy.
So they brought me onto their podcast, which I can put a link down in the description below. You can watch it later. Called IMF Wrestling's. What's it called?
It's called Inside the Ropes.
Inside the Ropes. And well, one Freddie Daniels decided to talk a little trash to James Taylor, and I called him mistakenly Jeff Daniels. and apparently everybody loves it. So
Yeah,
I call him Jeff
mistakenly.
Daniels. Do what?
Yeah, mistakenly called him that.
um,
He was even like, "My name's Freddie." Yeah, whatever, Jeff.
that was the best part, wasn't it?
So
So
will we get to see James Taylor on IMF? Is that a possibility?
I don't know. Really, it's up to them if they want to sign. But
I'm sure you want a
if
match
you've
with
kept
Jeff.
up,
I'm sure you want a match with Jeff.
if you
Oh,
if
he
you've
wants a
kept
match
up,
with Jeff.
you want a match with Jeff. You know what, Omen? I'd like to bring you in for a quick second and kind of take you out of your comfort zone and want to challenge you. Not to me. I'm not me and you. No. Um, to a small little 60-second promo. If you were to talk trash to Mr. Bailey here, what would you say if he was to step into your yard, into your ring, to face you and take over your group, the Alpha Pups or whatever they call them? What would you do? What
Listen,
would you
James,
say to him?
you caught me in a time where Omen Black and my real life. Omen Black's not really here right now.
That's a shame.
I had to, I had to deal with some stuff before I got on for legitly.
Okay, that's fine. I'll tell you what, that's
But I
fine.
know this, and I will show respect where respect is due. Bailey would rip me apart.
Don't
I'm
cut
just gonna
yourself
call it
so
as is.
short. Don't
I'm
cut
not.
yourself so
I'm not
short.
meat right. I'm not doing nothing. Bailey would rip me apart.
Okay. Well, since you openly
That
admit it,
that comment you
okay.
had to Captain Law about the Queen and social distance thing. Fuck, I was laughing for a good 20 minutes. But you said it just on the top of your head. It was good.
I maybe won't rip you apart, but James Taylor, I've ripped him apart many times, I will say. But hey, don't worry about that. But no, honestly, don't ever cut yourself short in the promo game. Don't ever cut yourself short. You got to have a confidence. I've gone against people who've made me look like an absolute child. I'm not that good. There's people.
I think what we're doing because the accent. The accent already makes it 10 times better.
Oh yeah, British accent just adds into it, doesn't it? It just makes it sexier. You know what I mean? But
That's why I
yeah,
had to go in the other room so my wife don't hear it.
um.
tell her you're on phone with William Regal. She'll be all right.
So.
But to answer your question, Bailey, James Taylor has a match in IMF coming up.
Ooh. I mean, he keeps talking shit about Alpha Wolves. I think you should just attack him. I think you should just jump him.
You want to explain what you got going on in IMF?
Yeah, their world champion's name is Soldier Boy. Soldier GP. Soldier GP. I don't know what GP stands for. I guess
You got Soldier Boy,
yeah.
the real one.
You better put
maybe
some respect on Soldier Boy.
GP stands for Great Poop. I don't know. But beside the point, he is their world champion, and I happened to watch his match against one Jeff Daniels, and
It's Freddie.
oh, I'm sorry, Freddie Daniels, and he fought the guy, this poor kid, and he just beat the tar out of him, and gave him a stunner, and I said, okay, this guy's their world champion. He's the biggest dog there is. So I called him out. He surprisingly accepted the challenge, and he has challenged me now to a last man standing match. It's like, damn, I haven't even gotten in the company yet. You already want the last man standing match. But hey, it is what it is. It ain't going to take me but maybe 5 minutes to teach the guy a lesson. I know Omen, he might be one of your pals, and I hope he's watching.
Oh no.
How
We have
about you put some
we have the
stakes?
same enemies.
How about you put some stakes on the line?
I
See,
I challenged him.
He likes to use the stunner. You like to use the stunner. How about if you lose, you never get to use the stunner again?
I never get to use the stunner in IMF. I'm always going to
No,
use the stunner. Ain't nobody going to take it away from me.
all time,
Uh,
all time.
Yeah.
But
Well, we'll
James, I
see.
think you got it. I think you got a little bit mistaken. I think when the challenge initially started, it was on our first episode of the Nemesis sessions. I think towards the end, I think GP started running his mouth to you. Hey, listen here, I want you to beat the hell out of GP. Like how I want you to beat the hell out of Anthony Steele at our following pay-per-view.
That is something that's
Have you got him again? Have you got him again? Oh my!
You know we've gone 1-1, right?
Wow.
Got to break the tie, right? And you know how we're gonna break the tie in our final match. You're gonna see, when is it? Omen, is it in June?
Yeah.
It's gonna be in June. I don't know the exact date yet. June something. Anyways, it's going to be James Taylor versus Anthony Steele for the very last time in a steel cage match. And I'm going to kick his ass. This isn't 2K. This isn't a promo. This is legit steel cage match. You're going to see this guy split Anthony's head wide open once again and leave IMF Wrestling as the ultimate victor, because I'm not ready to hang these boots up yet.
Nice.
No, you're not, because I need to take a flight. That's what it is.
Yeah. But anyways, and that's thanks to IMF Wrestling to making that possible. So I'm gonna give them a little shout out and a little toot toot to their horn. And
actually, you know what? We like to thank you, and hate to say it, but thank the Anthony Steele for letting us.
You
be
don't
the
have to
home
thank that jackass. You don't have to thank
for
him.
letting us be the home of your final match.
Of my final match.
With each other.
Okay, yeah, the trilogy. It's going to be
the trilogy.
Trilogy, that's right. Because I got bigger fish to fry than face Anthony Steele again. But you know what? He got the better one on me in August. I beat his ass back last year in January, around the same time that I started this season of the Nemesis sessions. So he has been a main guest on this show as well. So I'll have to say that. But nonetheless,
Steel cage is where you've got to pin them or climb out.
So yeah, it's either pinfall or submission, or you have to climb out over the top of the cage or through the door.
Please do a cage dive. Please do a cage dive. Please do a cage dive.
Never say never.
I don't care about your life or your injuries. Please do a cage dive.
The hell, baby.
Cage dive.
You underestimate my ability.
Sure. It's 100% for sure going to be a cage match. We just paid for the cage to rent it for that day. So in June, my receipts are on here somewhere, bro. In June, James Taylor, Anthony Steele, final match of their trilogy in a cage.
That's going to be the highlight of IMF and all their matches. It's going to be.
And where can we watch it if we're not there in person?
We're not even
Baby, I was just about to ask that question.
On YouTube. Now, if you look at one of the last episodes of the Nemesis sessions with the IMF Wrestling, I put a link to their YouTube channel. So go to the description on that episode. You can watch that episode.
Nice little plug there. Nice little plug.
And click on
$20.
the link. Click on the link and subscribe to them and check them out and watch them, and you will see James Taylor there pretty soon.
Are you still doing your own company, James? Didn't you do TBW or something like that?
TBW, it's not my company, but what's going on. As far as what is going on with it, never say never when it comes to that. I just know that me and the Prophet got a little heated at the last episode of this, if anybody watched it. And I kind of made him, for the first time ever on this podcast, I made him rage quit, and he left. So I had to end the episode. I pissed him off. But hey, I have no problem pissing somebody off, because if they can't take it, then kick rocks, right? So, Bailey, let me ask you. Eddie Orton, let me ask you.
Yeah.
For the Nemesis sessions, for the old Nemesis James Taylor, I got to ask you, starting with you, Bailey, what has got to be your most memorable moment with me that you remember, that you enjoyed, that you liked? You know what? Because I want to know, and I want the fans to know, what was it? If you could pick.
Ooh. Well, I mean, we've got a lot. Shit, we've got a lot of history. I think just the nights, the entire PWF roster were just cutting into you, and you were just taking it. You were just taking it and taking it and taking it. Me, Irish, Peter, all of them, all cutting into you, and you were just taking it and giving it back, and it
Not
kind of
letting up.
showed that you weren't going to back down, even as an owner. So I'd say one of them moments. Yeah,
That's crazy. I was like, I forgot about that, but then I remember it now. Yeah.
yeah.
And
We used to make fun of you being old, even though Buddha was literally a lot older than you.
right.
And I think Irish is in his 30s as well. I think so.
I honestly don't know. Couldn't tell you.
It looks a bit worse for wear these days, but it's okay.
What? Oh Lord! What about you, Eddie? Of all the things that I've done, I know you never faced me, but well, technically you haven't faced me except NEW, but that's
Yep.
Do you have a favorite James Taylor moment? Backyard wrestling, 2K, anything.
I gotta be honest though, I haven't really like before the company merges, like once when we all got together. Honestly, I didn't really look you up due to a lot of stuff was
that was what that comment that Bailey said earlier, that it was like a prison there.
yeah.
You weren't allowed to do certain
I wasn't really allowed. So like once when I merged, I kept hearing James Taft Taylor. So like, and then that's when I went to your YouTube page and I saw all the PWF episodes, and like I like the way that you were commentating them, and I like the way that the stories were going. Like I didn't really watch much of your backyard stuff yet, but yeah, like definitely what I was told wasn't true, obviously, about a lot of things that happened. So
that's fine, and
yeah,
that I respect, because
You need to watch the receipts video. You need to watch the video where he gives a receipt to a kid back in his old backyard days. It was funny as well. That whole match, if you've got a video of that whole match somewhere, is crazy. Honestly, they hit him with light tubes, stunner on a truck.
I'm on the verge of getting a new converter for my VCR, so that way I could get the rest of my matches from my old days put onto my.
He gives a receipt, a proper receipt.
But one day, besides NEW, I hope me and you can go one-on-one in a proper match, of course. But
hey, you know what? Never say never, for sure.
James knows Tim. James knows Tim, so TEW maybe. So I know Tim Hansen.
Maybe for sure. So
you're their world champion, I think.
Not no more.
Sorry to rub it in.
I got cashed in on Vinny B. Yeah, I got cashed in on.
That Vinny guy.
Yeah, I got cashed in on. But then I went back for it and I didn't get the job done. It's okay. It happens, It happens.
So this is what you're talking about, right, Bailey? I'm going to share it real quick.
The receipt.
Let me see if I can get this real quick. Uh-oh. Let's redo it.
Actually plugging his channel.
All right, so here we go.
Oh, he's gone. Well, everyone, welcome to the Bailey sessions.
You're funny.
Shit.
Good try, Bailey.
Would have been a better show.
There's me. This guy, he threw a cup of
Oh my!
he threw a cup of tea in my face in this match.
I like that guy.
His name's Chris McGuile. He's actually one of my best friends I've known since kindergarten.
Nice.
So I got 2 beers, and I decided to do this to him.
Oh.
And then watch what he did with this fluorescent light bulb to me. He decides to do this to me with a light bulb. So that really hurt, right? So I'm on the truck. He gets my cooler of beer, and this is where I decide I'm gonna give him a receipt after he does this.
Oh no!
Got me an ice bath. So I gave him probably one of the roughest stunners I ever gave him, and made him bite his tongue for it. See my arms all busted up.
Damn.
I was a little bit hot right here.
That would have pissed me off.
Viewer discretion is advised. People of the YouTube, viewer discretion is advised.
That would have pissed me off too.
This violence.
Here comes the stunner.
Oh,
the first part of the receipt.
You guys look like you guys are like really hitting each other.
Yeah, watch this. Right here it comes.
Oh!
Threw the middle fingers at him. Watch his face right here. He's sitting there like, holy shit, that hurt. He's like, oh, fuck, that hurt. And then he gets up. He decides he wants to throw some hands. And this side here, I start clubbing him. Right here. Watch right here.
Bro, this is like Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon. What the fuck?
So,
nice.
Just like in the pro world, if a wrestler messes up and they snug you, it's like, okay, it ain't nothing. But if they keep tagging you, it's like, all right, you got a receipt coming. And it's up to you on when you do it. Well, the same thing happened there.
Bro, did you see when Lesnar did it to Braun Strowman? Holy
punched
shit.
him straight in his face.
Strowman got dropped like that and he's massive. Honestly, that was crazy. I won't want a receipt from Lesnar. Fuck that.
Nope.
Screw that.
Definitely. Omen, did you ever have to give an actual receipt to anybody ever in your career?
To one Jeff Daniels. Before the House of Wolves, we had a match, and he likes to do these flying knees, and he actually caught me. First one's all right. Second, okay. But the third one, that's when, all right, time to take it down a notch. So I put a lot of sauce in a Blue Thunder Bomb.
Ooh.
There was a...
Is there anywhere we can see this?
Is it actually? It was before we started filming.
Oh, Jeff Daniels, you're gonna have to go through it again, mate. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'll do it.
I bet he had a very bad day that day. That's for sure.
Well, also, shit happens. Like when you get into the ring, sometimes you can't really control yourself. Well, sometimes.
It's kind of hard to pull back a knee.
Get other receipts.
It's very hard to pull back a knee. I'm guessing. I don't do professional wrestling, but I'm sure it's pretty hard to pull back a high knee. Kind of.
Yeah, he does this like running to the corner, high knee, but taking it 3 times to the chin, it kind of gets
like is it like the CM Punk thing where you used to do?
Yeah. Like that.
I see.
But there's times where me and Soldier GP have had to give each other receipts where you try to pull back a punch and it doesn't stop right away.
Yeah.
So he slugged me. I was like, all right, slugged him back, and then I've done it too. Sometimes I have punches where they just go too far and I get slugged back. I'm like, all right.
I never really wrestled anywhere, but you probably get into the match. You probably get so hyped up in the match and like, oh shoot, I really hit him.
No,
But
we look back at the footage and like, oh, I actually connected. Oh, that's why you hit me. All right.
okay, so when you're in the match, sometimes you probably don't even realize it, right?
There's times where you don't realize it until after. There's times that you realize it the second it happens. But
Have
you guys never
Bailey-
wrestled Bailey or Eddie?
Yeah.
I've done boxing, MMA, kickboxing. I've stepped in a professional wrestling ring and done like a few like triangle chokes and shit, but that's it. Never anything crazy, no.
Yeah, no. I used to be buddies with when I was in school. I used to like I used to hang around the ring, like go in the ring, but I never really took like any massive bumps or anything. So like
I've done
I took a
trampoline
suplex.
wrestling.
I took a suplex once, but that was about it. It hurt. Really hurt. Yeah, that
I've
was
done
it.
trampoline wrestling and I've done wrestling like on grass where I've
I
Yeah.
know.
like a suplex and shit.
Yeah,
But
like I used to
trampoline
wrestle
wrestling,
with my
that's it.
yeah, like I used to wrestle with my brothers in our backyard. Like, but other than that, I was never in like a official backyard company or anything like that. So
Well,
I've always wanted to. I just never really because
that-
where I'm from, there isn't really a lot of places that had that. In Pennsylvania, there's not a lot. So
It's hard in England. It's very hard in England. There's not
yeah,
many. There's not many, and if they are, they're like big, like ICW.
yeah,
Al Snow's got a show in. He's got a performance center in Newcastle, which is a very far away from me, so it's hard. And I think the British scene is dominated right now. There's no point getting into that. I'm not Will Ospreay. I'm not fucking Zack Sabre Jr. I ain't getting into that. Fuck that. So yeah, no.
Okay.
Will
Um,
Ospreay's
That
just
Will
too good.
Ospreay, he's something else. He's a maniac.
He's too good. He's too good. No one's touching him. It's crazy.
I feel like he's
Crazy.
he's a little bit underrated.
Oh, heavily. But it's because Okada exists, so it is where it is.
yeah.
Imagine him in backyard wrestling. Imagine Ospreay in backyard wrestling.
oof,
Interesting. You know,
Fuck.
I'll throw out something. This is just me kind of pet peeving in a way. So I know this guy on TikTok, and I'm not going to give no names because I don't want nobody targeting him or nothing. He's not a bad dude. I actually like him. He's actually friends with me in a way. He follows me. I follow him, but he don't say nothing on my stuff. I guess he thinks it's too good. Hell, I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's too busy. But nonetheless, he actually does a backyard fed, which is kind of slight indie fed. And he said it'd be really cool to wrestle you one day. He saw my stuff and wanted me to follow him on Instagram and message him and send him one of my matches. I sent him one of my matches. He's all like, I like your stuff, but I'm going to be honest with you. I work real snug, so I'm going to need you to really like tighten up and all that stuff if you were to wrestle me. I'm thinking, who the fuck is this guy? You know, I mean, okay, granted, critique, all that good stuff, that's fine. Well, then he watched my video and he really, really liked it. And then I didn't hear from him again for a couple of months. And then I randomly saw him on a live on TikTok. And I went on there, said hey to him. He's like, what's up, Nemesis? And I said, well, when are we going to get that match between you and me? And he's all like, oh, I don't know. You're gonna have to reach out to the owner, and we don't just wrestle backyard bullshit. It's kind of in a yard, but it's more indie style, and you'll have to. I don't know. It's up to the owner. It ain't up to me. And I work real snug, so you're gonna have to be really good at what you do. So that instantly just said, you know what? Fuck you. I don't want to work with you. I don't want to work with guys like that who think that that have that smug look, that smug attitude, who think they're instantly better than somebody. No, you either want to give me a chance, you either want to wrestle with me, or you don't. If you don't, fuck you. I ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm sorry I'm saying that. It sounds like an ass. But you see, if it was me, and somebody came up to me and said, James, I'd really like to wrestle you. I think it'd be really, really cool. It really depends on who it is, but I wouldn't say that. But look, listen, I've seen your work. I like what you do. Just like with these IMF guys, I've seen what Soldier could do. I'm not saying I'm better than him. I'm not saying he's better than me, but I want to work with him because I believe that we could put on a show and put on some magic, just like what surprisingly me and Anthony did, or me and Atomic Titan, or me and anybody. I want to have that moment with these guys. I'm not going to think that I'm better than somebody out of character. In character, yeah, all day. But out of character, I'm not going to throw somebody to the side and say, no, I ain't going to give you no shot. I don't want to wrestle you because you're stuck. You know what I mean? If I think that they're too green, then yeah, I'll say something and coach them. You know what I mean? And I just don't get it. Do I sound like I'm venting maybe? Do I sound like I'm bitching? Or what? Can y'all,
No.
y'all help me a little bit? Critique me or tell me what's your opinion on what I'm saying? What would y'all do? How would y'all handle it?
He pretty much sound like what you said. He was like pretty much sound like he instantly thought he was better than you, and wrestling you would sound like would downgrade him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he sounded like a complete jackass. So
yeah.
yeah,
That got me pissed. Honestly, it pissed me off, and I was just like, "Who the hell does this guy think he is?" You know, it's like
yeah, yeah. And he came to you and said that he wants to work with you, right?
at first, yeah,
Yeah,
and then
I
months
just
go
think that's
by.
bad business.
yeah.
Yeah,
Very, very bad.
months go by, and I say something about it to him, and then he's all like, "Yeah, you'll have to get with the other dude, and I work real snug, and
That's
we
yeah,
don't
that's
disrespect
not
anybody, and
yeah,
all like your shit don't stink, motherfucker." Okay, I got you.
that's not really a good look for his company either.
No,
Especially on a live stream that he said it during a live stream. That's not really a good morale look for the company either.
It's
I would
it,
say.
it's also really weird because it's like you're in a ring with multiple people who have different backgrounds in wrestling. You have some guys who have had a background in MMA, some guys who have gone up through, snake pit grappling and shit like that. And
Mm.
they have different styles. It'd be like putting the Big Show in the ring with Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's obviously not going to do the big moves and he's not going to try and lift him up and shit. Not everyone's styles are the same. So if he's going into that ring wanting every single person to have that tight, sort of closely knit grappling sort of thing that he's trying to get at, then it's going to make his matches look repetitive and boring.
And
Even
stale.
guys like Osprey, guys like Omega, switch it up. They switch it up. So yeah, who is he to dictate what you do? Like, is he a Hall of Famer? Is he on the PWI? No.
no.
So he can shove
And
it right up his bottom.
and the thing is, like I said, it's bad business because not only did you guys didn't have the match, but it also burned a bridge where the possibility of you guys having a match with cross feds and just imagine the views of cross promotion.
Yeah, and I liked the
It brought
guy,
more views to his
but
channel. It brought
it,
more fans to his channel. Just
It was definitely Jeff Daniels. I can tell.
yeah, it was just
it
a.
was. I already
Now
know the
it's like
motherfucker.
I liked the guy at first, and I was a fan of his stuff. The only following he has is on TikTok. He doesn't have a following on Instagram. He definitely don't have a following on YouTube. But it was the fact that I supported him, and he rubbed me the wrong way, and maybe I took it personally. I don't know. But anyways, I just wanted to get that out there. My point is, I don't like people that are bullies. I don't like people that think that they're better than somebody. I don't give a shit if you're an indie wrestler or you're a pro wrestler or another backyard wrestler. If you're not willing to give somebody the chance to work with you just because you think you're that much better than them or because you're pro or whatever the case may be, fuck you. Because you're no better than anybody else that wants to have that dream. You know why backyard wrestlers are backyard wrestlers? Because they didn't have the time and money to go to a school to go get trained. But I
Exactly.
believe personally, in my heart, that a true backyard wrestler such as myself, or maybe even one of you guys, even in the promo community, have more heart when it comes to pro wrestling and have it more in here because it gets them away from that reality, that escape. And they have that passion for it than some indie dude who paid 15,
Yeah,
some jackass who trained them
I
out.
actually, I used to watch these two guys. You guys might know who I'm talking about. I used to watch Myron Reed a lot, who's now like a big time player in MLW, and also Frego Del Sol from AEW. He was a big time backyard wrestler too. His name was Cage, and now like
He did the trampoline wrestling as well.
yeah, he had his own
Yeah, yeah,
company.
yeah.
It was KBW. His character name was Cage. So I exactly know what you're talking about. He obviously came from backyard wrestler, and he has the heart for for
Now,
wrestling. So,
I've met an indie fed that I'm actually in their Discord server that's near me, about 2 hours from me, called Pro South Wrestling. Those guys are cool and legit, and they've seen my stuff. And the owner told me, "Hey, give me 10 months, and I could get you on our shows." And at first, hear me out real quick. At first, it kind of upset me. I'm like, "Why 10 months? You don't think I'm good enough?" But then I'm thinking, James, you're self-taught. You are self-taught. All I have to do is prove to them what I can do. And he goes, "Hey, if you get in the ring and you do really well, it could be less than that. It could be a month, could be 6 months. It could be a week. It really depends on you and how much you know and what you could show us. Because there is going to be things I don't know that they could show me. And I'm always willing to learn." So I took them up on the offer. When I'm going to go there to train, it's going to be another decision that's going to happen this year. I'm not looking to go super pro, but to go indie would be really neat, especially at this place. I'm going to have them next season. They actually want to be on the Nemesis sessions, and these are some
nice.
guys that are really cool too. I have.
You should get in contact with Schizo.
That would be interesting for sure.
Schizo. He does sort of. I think he's an indie wrestler.
Yeah,
Kind of.
he is. Yeah.
Now
He's
I'm not.
he's one of those weird ones, but he's very good.
Back to the whole argument about backyard wrestlers and pro, amateur, indie, whatever. Look, I'm always welcome.
Oh,
I
Go
good?
ahead. Go ahead. I was
Oh,
somebody.
I'm
We got a surprise
I'm
guest.
always welcome, like, to learn something, and I'm gonna break kayfabe right now. I initially challenged Anthony Steele, and me and him have had a lot of backroom talks, and I'm excited for him to come up to IMF, show me some things in the ring. James, we've talked. You're going to show us some things in the ring. And I've even talked how much I've talked shit about him. Captain Law Dale, or Jackson, whatever, he's going to come to IMF. He's going to show us a couple things. And it's what you can give back to the community.
Ladies and gentlemen, my
Oh, shit, there's the
Oh.
devil right there.
is Captain
It's
Law.
funny you mention me because, when I see an invite to the Nemesis sessions, I just gotta come and take over.
Oh, fuck me, man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, everybody else here knows how to orient their camera. Omen Black, do you not know how to turn your camera sideways, bro? Like, can you not?
Oh, Lordy.
Listen here, Dale. I just praised you. Don't come at me.
Well, thank you. By the way, who is this Dale character? I don't know who Dale is. I'm the law of the land, Captain Law.
I'm going to call you Dale.
Well, guess what? I don't know you enough for you to earn that right. You have to, like, that's
You know
a
what? He
respect.
almost looks like a white Corey Monroe.
Are you the same dude that was talking shit
Captain
last
Law.
time but left?
Yeah, and I'm the same dude.
Oh, hey, what's up? Nice to see you again.
I offered you a peace offering by leaving. Yeah, I mean,
Bailey Law, before you say anything, Bailey, look, Captain Law is a backyard wrestler that I got some respect for. It's actually, believe it or not, a guy in the backyard world that I want to face. And he is hilarious and entertaining to me, whether he thinks he is or not. And I think if you and him were to have a promo battle, it would be magic. I am like Vince McMahon of the backyard or promo community. I am a genius when I can tell you that if Bailey from the promo community went one-on-one in a small little promo battle against all of the land, it would be entertainment gold.
He got it real quick.
You're going against NGT guys now, Bailey. You've come a long way. You enjoy this, right?
Yeah.
Wait, he's going against NGT guys now?
Apparently.
As in next generation talent?
Yep.
As in the TikTok fed that started as TTWF, that started as an open promo challenge to Lou Nonsense, who issued that challenge to anybody in TikTok wrestling community, and it's almost as if a bunch of people accepted that challenge, and a certain somebody, I'm not gonna scratch their head or anything, was third on that list of the top 3 who answered that challenge, and furthermore went on to help start TTWF, and then went on to really be the first ever TTWF Intercontinental Champion, and then for a while was a road crew member for NGT until some backstage drama happened. I don't know who that guy is.
Be careful what
I'm
you wish
assuming
for.
it's
It's
the
a
guy
very
who's got a
different
voice
game
crack.
over there now. Be
But
careful
then-
what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for.
Nonetheless-
It's a very different scene. It's a very different kettle of fish now.
So
Be careful what you wish for.
Let me fill you in real quick, Law. So the promo community has completely changed, obviously, over the past 2 years. But this isn't promo wrestling no more. What this is, because you're the law of the land. You're a backyard wrestler, indie wrestler, dude. You have stepped foot in a lot of promotions. Not going to blow a bunch of smoke up your ass. You've made your mark. You've got my attention. Hell, that's one reason why I want to face you. Out of character, I'm telling you, I want to face you one day. It's one of my dream matches, believe it or not. Not to blow a bunch of smoke up your ass, but honestly, I want to face you. Now,
Well, I don't call myself the dream match booker for no reason. I make a habit of making those happen. Someplace, somewhere, we will cross the line. But you call me a backyard wrestling indie guy, and I appreciate that. I've stepped into an indie ring before. I've never made an official debut yet. There's been talks, but never yet.
never say never.
But before I was a popular backyard guy, I was a promo guy. Like I've competed in more promo feds than I have backyard feds. And that's saying something, because if you look at my list is expansive. I've won more promo championships than I have backyard championships. And again, that's a lot, because my list is my list is rather expansive.
So
Sorry, I'm sick of seeing Omen Black's face. I mean Bailey's face. I mean, I don't even know Eddie.
Eddie Orton, Mr. Captain Law.
No, I just keep fucking with y'all. I don't know. Is this Nemesis session in character or out of character? Are we fucking around, or are we finding out?
We're gonna do in character. So would you care to do a little entertainment, Bailey? Yay or nay?
Not today.
No,
I'm not one to duck a challenge.
Okay.
Anytime, anywhere.
But you ducked the
I'm fresh off of work with an upper respiratory infection, and we didn't get to do it last time. We're not going to get to do it this time. If we're going to do it, I want it to do it right.
Can I intervene on that? You say you did a lot of NGT thing in the back. There were a certain man in 2021 who won the NGT Rumble. I don't know if you watched it. He had bronchiolitis, COVID, won it, took his t-shirt off, and cut one of the best promos of all time. The Demented. Do you recognise that name?
I know the name. Trust me, there's 90% of any names from before this year.
In about 3.5 seconds, I could go research your name in that server and get everything I want to know about you. So if you either want to do it now, and it's easy for you, or you let me go away, have my research about you, and I can do it just like that, and it's done.
See, here's the thing. I'm in the server, so obviously I'll see everything everybody says about you.
Of course. So you should say who I am.
But what you don't realize is 90% of the people in that server's views are entirely skewed. But the one man you should talk to get to know about me is the guy that runs it all.
Oh, Mr. Levi.
Talk to Hugs. If you want to know about the law of the land, he'll tell you about the law of the land. But if you want to know about Dale, well, I'll be the one to tell you about myself, because if you ask anybody else, it probably turned 30 ways.
You're not
to
even the #1 Dale in NGT anymore.
I know how you
I'm
feel.
a character guy. I try to completely separate character from real person.
Me too.
So
So then let's go out of character. I know how you feel, Law, because my wife was she tested.
Who turned the lights out?
Uh-oh.
I know Omen Black is in the fucking chat, but you don't have to be a mark for him. Okay? You don't have to turn my lights out.
Was that Jeff?
So yeah, my wife tested for COVID last week. I ended up positive today for it, but
Dang it.
I'm a carrier, so it doesn't affect me, surprisingly. Beside the point, you've been on a few little appearances. You had your own episode 20 of the Nemesis Sessions, Mr. Law.
Yep.
And that was an entertaining episode. Omen Black became a fan of yours.
But right now he's blocked because he doesn't have his camera turned the right way.
Oh, I guess he doesn't know what screen rotation is, do you?
I get it. I just like holding my phone comfortably.
He said he likes holding it.
Understandable. I set my phone down because I don't feel like holding it. I don't want to accidentally cover my microphone, doing the whole finger in the camera thing. You must do camera work for ROEW, or not ROEW, Jesus. You must do camera work for IMF a lot, too, because I noticed a lot of their videos are held like that, too.
No. That's Jeff.
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels.
So did you, of the few maybe you've watched a few clips of did you have, other than your own episode, did you have any episodes or a part of an episode you liked or enjoyed, Mr. Law, of the Nemesis Sessions?
I mean, you didn't ask me in my own episode, so I guess this is as close to the fucking how do you feel about the Nemesis James Taylor question I've always expected.
Yeah, I know you pointed that out. I did not even ask you that because I didn't want it to sound like that, but this being the season finale, I'd like to you could roast me, you could say whatever you want, your honest to God opinion about the Nemesis James Taylor. Whether it's in character.
If I'm talking about the Nemesis James Taylor, I wish that dumbass would stop tagging me in fucking irrelevant reels. Why the fuck do I need to see a reel of you acting like Stone Cold Steve Austin on Instagram, bro? But as far as the guy James Taylor, cool dude, solid dude. But the Nemesis James Taylor, he's an old, washed-up has-been who got dragged back into the yard by Anthony Steele and is literally living off the relevancy that Anthony Steele gave him. I mean, look at all the reels you post. They all involve Anthony Steele giving Anthony Steele a wrestling lesson. Oh, I wrestled a match. Oh, it's me versus Anthony Steele in Resurrection's ring. Omen, stop turning my lights off, bro. God.
I got Jeff over there turning the lights off for me.
God. But in all actuality, he's trying to get his name back out there. He's that old washed up has-been who's treating his career like a young green rookie.
I guess
and you can be young and green all you want, but that time was like 40 years ago. You're not the same James Taylor you were wrestling on a mattress, getting suplexed off ladders and shit. The James Taylor I see now, I could fucking crumple in my hands like this, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, blow away like everything else made of rust.
Yeah.
Hey, before I go, I want to address Captain Law.
Did you just say you want to undress me? That's a little sus, bro. That's a little sus, bro.
Sorry, I have proper grammar and I talk to you.
But for a price, everybody's got a price. If you want to undress me, it's not a cheap trip.
Oh, trust me, no one wants to do that with you. But anyway,
I don't know. I know a certain backyard wrestler.
Had a lot of backroom talks, the conversations on the text, Messenger, so and so. Will we be seeing you in IMF?
As I said in the comments section, the glorious thing about Rumbles is you never know who, or in Gordo's case, what will show up to a Rumble. You never know. You never know. You never know. But there is a bunch of people talking shit from the IMF roster about me when I watch their matches, and they can't even lock up right. I mean, it's wrestling basics. It's wrestling basics 101, but you can't lock up. You're over here hugging your opponent like this.
Now,
it's a lockup. You got to lock up.
Your dream match with James Taylor, James Taylor's dream match with you, that could be very well done in IMF. Just
why would I have to do? Why would I have to travel to Iowa to make his dream match happen? Who said it was a dream match for me? Quite frankly, James Taylor is just another has-been that I could check off the bucket list before he kicks the bucket. God damn it. Fucking ruins any level of intensity I have. Fuck.
Well, if you get that cock out of your throat, you might be able to speak.
Get Anthony's cock out of your throat first.
Anthony is irrelevant to me, okay? He was a young...
Yeah, it says the guy who every reel is something about him.
So I let you run your mouth. So how about showing some respect to your elders and letting the old man speak, because I'm such an old man, right? It's okay.
I don't respect my elders.
Actually, I'm going to get off here, Captain.
Whoa.
I'll talk to you.
Whoa, you're supposed to do that off camera.
You go tell Soldier GP and Jeff Daniels and Dirty Dan that we said hi.
Dale, I'll message you like always. I tried calling you earlier. You forwarded me. Dick move.
I was at work.
James, I look forward to seeing you at the Rumble. But on Anthony Field, let's see if he makes it past March.
See if he makes it at all. Let's see if he makes it. He might get fired from IMF before he even steps through the door.
Damn. Like Lucy. Oh, man.
Well, thanks for having me on, James. Good seeing you, Dale. I'll talk to you guys later.
Have a good one. It's a shame everybody wanted to leave. It's like you just got here.
We were having fun. I was having fun.
I think you intimidate Bailey. Bailey won't admit it. And I looked at the Discord, and he's already in one of the Discord servers, and he's in a voice chat, and I'm just like, why?
Is it the NGT server?
Yeah. He wanted
You know what's going to be great is when I just immediately hop out of here and go over to the NGT server and pop in. Omen, you're not even here anymore. Stop turning my lights off.
I know, right? Okay, so now I'm looking. Now he's out of it. That's funny. But anyway, he wanted to be in here and wanted to talk and answer questions. And he said something about you earlier, and then surprisingly you showed up. So I bring you in, and it's like, oh, now he wanted to leave. It's like, what's the problem there?
I don't know. You know, it is what it is. I have no issues with the guy.
No,
I don't know him. He's just another potato eating, fucking beer drinking, spud throwing Irishman who likes to talk, you know. My drunken Irish dad.
There it is. So yeah, I brought this is the final episode for the Nemesis Sessions for season 1. 24 episodes. I'm gonna bring season 2 back, episode 1, next month sometime. So it's gonna be a really good episode. But I wanted to end it tonight doing this. Just having rando people come on, talk about their favorite episodes if they had any, or any wrestling moments that they had. Yeah, let's ask you an interesting question real quick since you're here. If there's a way so far in your career, in the backyard career, I don't think I asked you this, but who would you consider probably your toughest opponent you ever had? I've asked, about your first match and all that in that one episode, but in this one, just for shits and giggles, only if you feel like sharing it. If you were to say if there was anybody that was the absolute toughest guy, like you fought the guy, you wrestled him, it was a good match, or maybe it was a bad, who knows? But
Okay.
your story.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting caught up. How do you define tough? Like, what do you define as the toughest opponent? Like, are we talking the strongest opponent I've ever faced, like the best opponent I've ever faced, or are we talking he was tough to work with because he was the shits? Like,
let's do a little bit of both. No, I don't want you to throw anybody under the bus. Let's just say your toughest opponent, like he hit the hardest, he slammed the shit out of you, maybe. He did some stuff that you were like, oh man, this guy's, he's rough. You know what I mean?
Anthony.
Can't think of anybody.
Your fucking hotbox Wi-Fi. I'm sitting here answering the question, and you're just sitting here.
My hotbox Wi-Fi. You sure it's not yours because you having some flickering problems over there?
I'm on my mobile data, so I don't fucking know.
There it is. There it is.
But you know what, Omen? I swear to God, turn my lights off one more time, and I'm gonna turn your lights out.
There.
But toughest opponent would probably be Anthony. Just because when we did our match, and we're all cool about it now, he's even apologized. There were a couple snugger shots in that match. And like I knew going into it that there probably would be. Like that it's the very first time, and I'll be a man enough to admit it, that out of character, I was genuinely scared to go into the match.
With him?
Yeah. Just because the backstage, the behind the scenes was very like not good between me and him. And like, not to put the full story out there because I'm sure that's another podcast episode for another day. There was some drama going on between me and him. I had heard something about him saying he wanted to blow my head off, shit like that. So like when I got told I was wrestling him in a dark match that show, I was very much so nervous to go into that match. And like, I knew enough ahead of time that I could prepare myself for it, which is weird because usually when dark matches happen at XCW, you don't know who you're facing. It's just a dark match. It's whoever wants to have a match, they go out and have a match, and it's an extra match.
Yeah.
But I knew enough ahead of time about that one that I could prepare for it. And I didn't know going into it that Josh had told him, same thing he told me, that if anything happens in that match.
Go ahead. I hear you.
Is it doggo? Is it a doggo? Or is it a kitty cat? It's a kiki. Kitty. A pretty kitty.
My little buddy Kobe. Hey, bro.
But
hey, everybody.
I was told the same thing apparently that he was, and it was that if either of us went off on each other during the match and like went off character on each other and started shooting, we would be done for. Like it would just be it would be the end right then and there. Like no more XCW, you're not welcome back. And like I wasn't willing to risk that. So I stayed in character. I didn't shoot. I was a little bit snugger than I normally would be, but I've since adapted my entire wrestling style to that. So I wasn't stiff, but I was snugger. And like some of my motherfucker.
I bet you there's a time delay on their
there is. It is. It's a motion detector. I'm outside my garage. It's a garage light.
I've got a motion detector on my back and my front. And I have
it makes cutting promos on it hard. Makes cutting promos out here hard because this is a genuinely like comfortable space for me to promo in. Makes it so fucking hard. But we were all, because I had told Josh ahead of time that I was nervous to do the match and like why I was nervous to do the match.
Mm-hmm.
And I just everything turned out fine. Like I didn't stiff him. he definitely got a couple stiff ones in on me.
You didn't give him a receipt?
It was a different shot that I thought was stiff. Brother, like, come to find out, Anthony's, when he stiffs you, it's his chops. Like, it's always a chop. He always stiffs his chops. If like he's gonna stiff you, it's gonna be his chops. I thought, because I was fresh off fractured ribs, that it was the senton he gave me. Because, like, up until that point, no one had given me the Kevin Owens style senton where they land flat back on you. It's always they land ass first and kind of slide onto you.
Yeah.
And it's the same senton I usually do. But he had given me the Kevin Owens style one, and I had never seen him do it that way to anybody else. Looking back on footage, he did. But, like, I thought that's where he was stiffing me and he was trying to fuck my ribs up again. It wasn't. It was the chops. And there was one of those chops, and, like, he did the whole thing where he lifted the shirt the first time and I had the second shirt on, and he chopped me again. And he went to lift the second shirt up, and I think you can hear me on camera say, "You better not fucking do it." And brother lifts the second shirt up and fucking boom, bitch. Like, that one was the stiff one, and bro, that shit fucking hurt.
It makes me want
because it was a stiff chop. But, you know, he's apologized. We've made up and shit. So
that's good.
I wouldn't say we're friends. We're acquaintances. We're cordial to one another. But
a lot of people give him shit, and I get it, and I understand it. He's a young cat. He's burned a lot of bridges, and I told him to quit doing that shit. I told him to quit making enemies. You need to start, being appreciative of what you get. And when he first met me, obviously in person, Anthony's like, what, 6'3", 6'4", something like that.
He's a tall motherfucker.
Dude. I'm a shorter dude. I'm literally.
I think he's an inch over me. Motherfucking goddamn cut bullshit.
So I'm like 5'7", and when he met me, he's like, "Dude, you're a whole lot shorter than I thought you would be." He was kind of a smart ass, and I was like, "Dude, this is just how I am." And he wanted to try and show me at TBW. Well, I'm getting to a point how to do certain things, and I was like, "Dude, I know I haven't been in it in a long time, but I know what I'm doing, right?" And there he is. He's here. You know what? Do you care if I bring him on for a minute?
Hey, my show.
Well, okay. Well, hello. There he is, Mr. Steele. If you could rotate your screen, you're not really good at screen rotating either. You don't know how to rotate.
He got the Omen Black situation going on.
Yeah.
No, it's the link that I got sent is not.
Your screen rotation is not on, but hey.
Jump out, switch your screen, and then jump back in.
Send me the link through the actual text messages.
So I'll just do this real fast. Okay. So I'll remove his butt, and then I'll just do this real quick, and then I don't know where he is.
All I did was turn my screen before I came in, and I was fine.
Yeah. Now, so when he gets in here, he can, that way I'm not insulting him or nothing, but I'm getting to a point. I'm wondering if he'll admit it or how he understands. But I feel that, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older. Here we go. You got
there we go.
That's a little bit better.
All right.
So, welcome to the final episode of the Nemesis Sessions, Mr. Steele. How are you doing?
Let me be clear. Final episode of season 1.
Season 1. That's right. That is right.
Well, you said it made it sound like this bitch.
You're real slick with your words, Long. I appreciate that. See, producer over here. So, Anthony drinking his little Jalito, his Mexican drink.
Shit's
good. Bro, those things are good.
Watermelon, bro.
Yeah. So,
I'm a big fan
Anthony,
of the orange.
Out of character, I wanted to see if you would admit it or tell us your opinion on it. Law was telling us about, y'all's little snug thing, and y'all had a little, everything's good now, how y'all were kind of into it. And then he was actually genuinely nervous to go into the ring with you. But He adapted his style off of you out of respect.
Motherfucker.
And Omen Black keeps knocking his lights out. And I've told you, you need to try and do your best not to burn all your bridges and appreciate what you got. When you first met me, the first thing out of your fucking mouth to me was, damn, you're short. And then we get to TBW, and you wanted to see what I could do because you're used to your style and you're used to your ways. And then to see me in person, you really wanted to see what I could do. And then I showed you I've never had no issue with you because I think, whether you want to admit it or not, this is out of character. I think deep down, after you working with me the way you have, I think you actually respect me in the ring to where you don't want to get on my bad side, and I'm not going to purposely do anything to get on your bad side. I don't do that with anybody I work with, but I think...
Nah, shut the fuck up. He just hasn't gotten a chance to chop you hard enough.
Oh, he's chopped me. He's snugged me. He's botched a move. And that actually pissed me off. But beside the point, it was part of it. It still ended up being a good match. But I snugged him at Resurrection when he was kind of overselling, and his head banged right into my. Remember that?
Yeah, he head banged right into your fist. That's just a polite way of saying I felt like fucking punching this motherfucker in the jaw one good time.
If y'all so out of character. I'm gonna answer your question, and then I'm going to actually answer the whole scenario. The reason why I respect you and I've never had a problem with you is because of the respect factor. You know, you've never came at me reckless. I've never came at you reckless. It's always been a respectful thing. You know, we've never got, again, on each other's bad sides. We've had this bond since day one. You know, coming from the promo scene, you know, bringing you out of retirement after so many years, you know, it was kind of a thing where, yes, I'm man enough to admit is I wanted to see if I can hang with this old timer that did it while I was just a kid, you know, and I did that. It was kind of I want to bring you back, let you relive this era of your life that I know you miss, because me doing this for 7 years, I know there's going to be a time where I'm not going to be able to do it, or something's going to happen to make it to where I can't do professional wrestling, and I'm going to miss it. Professional wrestling is the biggest part of my life. Every person that actually knows me knows that. And it was an honor to bring you out of retirement, have those 2 matches with you, and in June, if it comes down to it, have that 3rd match. I'm just, as a whole, answering the question, I'm just a very blunt and honest person. You know, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to tell you how it is. If I see that you're doing something wrong as either a booker, a talent, or in between, I'm going to express how I truly feel. And some people, you know, are alongside of me on my decisions on what I say. And then there's some people that don't like what I have to say or how I go about things, which some things I do come off a little, you know, douchebaggy a lot. But then there's some things where, you know, people actually understand where I'm coming from. Like, number one thing that I always say is as a booker of a show, you know, when you are running a show, your main priority is not to put yourself over in a talent perspective. You have talent to make your show look good. That's what wrestling's always about. You shouldn't put yourself over against your talent. That's one of the biggest things I've had with a company was management was always in a talent's role and putting them over talent that excelled a lot more, you know. And again, it goes to the factor of I'm not afraid to speak my mind. You know, if you brush me the wrong way, I'm like, hey man, you know, that's kind of a little fucked up. You know, I'll try to talk to you about it at first, but then if it comes back and keeps coming back, then I'm just gonna look at you like, hey, bro, go fuck yourself. I'm not gonna deal with your shit. I'm a very honest person, and that's all. That's what I want people to understand. You can, if you take anything away from this out of character, not Anthony Steele, just as Anthony Holloway, if you take anything away from what I'm saying, is you don't have to love me. You can hate me all you want, you know, but my thing is I build relationships off respect, because respect is earned, it's not given. That's the number one rule I live my life. If I deem that you've earned my respect, I'm going to give you the respect that I deem you earn. And I see myself as the same through everyone else's eyes. If I don't give you the respect that you think you deserve, I mean, obviously you shouldn't respect me. But I try to be as respectful as I can until I feel like I've been disrespected, or a good friend of mine has been disrespected. Because there are people out there that don't like to speak up because they're either afraid of what can happen, or they don't like confrontation. I've lived a life where confrontation is gonna happen. There's no way to just never have confrontation in your life. People are going to be confrontational. People are going to be physical. People are going to be mental. You know, it's just the way someone lived their life growing up as a kid until their adulthood. A lot of people deal with some of the same shit, and then there's some people that's never dealt with anything that you've dealt with. And I just look at myself as, if me and a person can look eye to eye, there should never be a problem. That's why me and you, James, James, you can say for yourself, there's never a time where we could be on a phone call, a Discord call, a live, and not talk shit to each other. But then after that fucking thing goes off, we talk civilly like nothing ever happened. And like, yo, bro, you know, what you about to do tomorrow? What you about to do tonight? You know, you trying to hop on the game. You want to go do this. Like, it's a mutual connection that we've created throughout this time in our lives together. We've created that bond.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dale, I've admitted to Dale, with the things that he did in the past and going into that match, was it wrong of me? Yes, but I stiffed him. I did. I worked that match a little stiff. I got my little shots in, and then I let it be and continued the match normally. But it was the constant, and I mean, Dale's a grown man. He can either accept it, what he's done, where he's accepted it behind doors, or he can accept it in front of everybody watching, or he can hide it, whichever's fine. Dale used to talk a lot of shit on me, and he was one of the biggest haters I've had. Trust me, you're not the first, and you're definitely not going to be the last. But there comes a time where, you know, I give you so many chances, and then you still do the same shit. So I gave him, in my terms, I gave him his receipt. I gave him the receipt and the ring. Now we're good. I'm good. I'm cool. I'm calm. I mean, shit happens. From what I know, he don't talk shit on my name. That's perfectly fine. But it's like,
live your life. I live mine. Sometimes the paths cross. Sometimes they don't.
like, I like to and at the beginning of this year, about sometime last month, I was texting guys from other companies that, you know, I've had problems with. Been like, you know what, you don't have to accept me, but I'm going to be the grown man and, you know, apologize for my wrongdoings. Because I'm not going to admit everything I've done isn't the right decision. Some people make decisions out of what they deem is right, but to others, it's not always the right thing.
Heat of the moment.
I take responsibility for my actions. As a 22-year-old young adult, you know, there's a time where you have to learn it's not fun and games anymore. It's not just a thing where you can, you know, joke around, have fun, say what you want, and no consequences are given. This is real life. You have to face every consequence for every action you create. And that's anybody in this world. But number one thing I want anyone to know about Anthony Steele or Anthony Holloway, I'm a chill dude. I'm a laid back dude. Yeah, I talk shit. That's what I'm known for. I do it to almost everybody. But if you really know me, you understand that me talking shit isn't me trying to attack you. It means I like you. If I'm not fully like just blowing shit and just talking shit with you and having fun, and I'm really getting serious, that's how you know that bond is gone. Like key example. A lot of people know me for I'm not afraid to call people out or talk about certain aspects of what happened. While I was working with TBW, I did not. Me and Troy, or for y'all that don't know who Troy is, Atomic Titan. We were really close. He was one of the guys that I really got close to in TBW. I stood up for him a lot. He was a guy that, came to me and say they don't take him seriously. They've used and abused his power. That was supposed to be him and Josh's show, and they just took it over. They didn't really let him do much anymore. And, I stood up for him. And then I, looked at him when they hired Enigma. For those that don't know Enigma, he was a fucking twacked out tweaker that, purposely injured people and drank before matches and wrestled under the influence of alcohol, which is very dangerous. I told him, I was like, that's called a liability, man. And a lot of people aren't going to show up knowing that he is there because something could potentially happen. No one wanted to listen to me. They just thought I was this fucking kid from Illinois that, wanted to run their show. I didn't want to run their show. I wanted to help benefit that. If I'm going to work for you, I'm going to give you every ounce of, momentum to benefit your product. Yep. And you putting out product like that is going to very, very, very badly hurt everything that you dream of making that company become. And it just started going downhill from there. Literally after me and James at season finale, they released me from TBW. Fine, dandy, that's cool. I did my own thing. They went their way, I went my way. But there's still to this day, every person I've encountered, whether it's backyard wrestling, I haven't encountered this scenario on the indie scene yet. I'm sure there will be that time. But in the backyard scene, there's one thing every man has said. Every person I have encountered. No one can talk shit about my in-ring capabilities, my promo skills, anything that comes to the art of professional wrestling. No one can talk shit on because they know I'm good at it. I've dedicated everything to this. But everyone talks about my attitude. Everyone talks about my anger problems. I understand. And sometimes you gotta learn from a lesson. And it was a lesson learned. I made enemies some places I went, and I made friends some places I went. But there comes a time in your life where you got to look at yourself and say, is it worth continuing going down that path and, making all those enemies, making all those haters? Or is it just time to let the shit fucking go and move on with your life, whether they want to or not? And that's what I've done. I'm moving on with my life. I wish the best for TBW. I wish the best for XCW. Every member of the NJJPW locker room, y'all, if y'all are watching, I love y'all. Y'all are my brothers. I've rolled with y'all for years. Y'all's where I got my start. WEF. Shit, I'll even make a shout out. Y'all know how much I hate this fucking company. Resurrection. To the young talent at Resurrection, build yourselves up. Do what you guys fucking love to do and fucking be great at it. That's all I wish. If your dream is to, at the end of the day, make professional wrestling a career choice and not just something fun, which if you're just doing it for fun, cool, have fun with it. But for the guys that actually want to do this and make a career out of it like I do, fucking go for it. Don't let anybody tear you down. Don't let anyone say you fucking can't. Get on your fucking feet. Go make a fucking move and prove every fucking doubter wrong. Period.
There
Solid
it is.
work.
Yeah.
Solid work.
Yeah. Law, would you like anything to say when it comes to that stuff?
No, genuinely, like, everything he said was correct. Like, more recently, I've tried atoning with people for stuff. As I look back the last couple of years and see a lot of shit I'm not proud of. I'll be the first to admit it. I've been pretty immature about a lot of things. And I think it's that growing out of the immaturity, having a bunch of shit happen, and then kind of slipping back into it and regressing back into it. I think it's that period of my life where I'd look back right now and I don't like it. It's genuinely a part of my life I don't like to talk about, don't like to look at. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not the best human being in the world. I've recently tried atoning for a lot of the shit I've done. One more motherfucking time. Just gonna get back on. There we go.
It kicks me out. I don't know what happened.
There's people I've tried atoning with that don't think I'm serious about it, and that's fine. I've said my piece and made my apologies. People can choose to accept them or they don't. That it is what it is. There's plenty of people. I'm not going to name names because they obviously don't want anything to do with me, so I'll move on past them.
I will say
Wrestling world, promo world, real life.
James, I fixed it.
Fixed what?
You remember this?
Yeah, you gonna let me have that, right?
The TBW World Championship? I fixed it. I went to the hardware store and got actual fucking screws to fucking screw this bitch in.
Right. And I've tried mending burnt bridges, and there's some people that will not talk to me still. And it's fine. I'm sure with time, maybe those bridges will mend themselves and the other people will walk over and they'll try to talk to me. You never know what can happen in lifetime. Sometimes karma and fate make paths cross that probably weren't ever planned to.
It's those three famous words in this business, and that's never say never, right?
But like for me, Anthony said something, I can't remember what he said during that entire rant, but it made me think of something a famous wrestler said, and I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. But you better be careful whose asses you kick on the way up, because you'll have to kiss them on the way back down. Or something along those lines. And like I'm kind of living my life to that mantra right now, because I'm not working my way up anywhere really. I'm just kind of living my life. If something happens, something happens. If it don't, it don't. And like if I come across a scenario where to me it feels like it's time for me to get over something and apologize, I do. I tried yesterday and it didn't work out for me. So
I know who you're talking about, by the way.
I figured you did. I figured you did. That one, that doesn't surprise me that you know. It's not a secret. Like
you know the cycle.
It's like the situation with me. Everybody likes to, crack the joke that I'm old, I'm getting old, but honestly, in a way, I know that I am, and yeah, I'm back into the backyard wrestling world, but it's like I know I want to do a few more matches. I want to be able to wrestle as many people as I can before I'm officially done.
Can I
do a Damian Priest taunt or some shit? What the fuck
can I actually say something on that factor?
What?
Please. Going back to what I said earlier, the reason why I brought you out of retirement was to see what a style back then mixed with my style that I use today would be like. And I'll say this for anyone that tries to say I have a big ego, yeah, I do. But here, let me put my ego aside. If I'm going to name any fucking guy, this is not a work. This is not me kissing his ass. This is me being upfront, honest as Anthony Holloway, not Anthony Steele. James is one of the best talent I've worked with in my entire career. 7 long years I've been doing this. And he is hands down one of the best I can work with. Now, he makes his joke how I botched the back body drop. Y'all know where I came from. No one was able to fucking do that to me. So, no one. But I mean, if you guys want to be technical, James, podcast. But you keep cracking that joke. I need to at least crack this joke one time. I botched the back body drop, but this motherfucker botched a choke slam by holding in his breath. So we're just gonna say that.
Rookie mistake on my part. But hey, still look good.
If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Resurrection when me and him had our rematch and watch me give him a chokeslam and him roll to the side of the ring. And I would come and be like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Give me a second." And then I walk the fuck back. But honestly, James is a fantastic worker. I'm proud to say that I've worked with you in the ring. Law, I will respect you and not say your real name. It took so much out of me not to say that.
You're one of the few. You're one of them that has that right. So.
Well, then fuck it, Dale. I will say this. I want to work an actual match with you. No stiffing, no shots. Work one-on-one with you. That way we can actually see Captain Law or Jackson Law, whichever one you want to be, versus Anthony Steele.
XCW, it ain't Jackson. Mother goddamn fucker. If it ain't XCW, it ain't Jackson.
Hey, look, all I'm gonna say is this.
What is this? This is a wrestling podcast.
Hold on. They aren't gonna say what is this, and you show the comment they made right above. Yeah, we retort your question with the same question. What is this?
Right.
Yara even Kamali. That sounds like that sounds like who calls you to steal your IRS money.
So I want to ask you, Anthony. There's other guys I want to wrestle, but when you said what you said earlier about you wanted to see what the old style of backyard wrestling would be like against your style, when you finally did, was it what you expected or was it different? Just curious.
It was okay. So,
did you learn anything?
I mean,
before you get into it, not to cut you off or anything. My phone's at like 5%, and I'm sitting outside, so I'm gonna go ahead and dip out. Obviously, we'll all talk later. Anthony, gotta talk to you later anyway. So, peace.
See you later,
fuck you.
Coming in.
I had to before he got off, but to answer your question, it's living in the new generation, doing the new generation style of wrestling, and mixing it with your old school. Let me answer your question with a question. After me facing you, and you seeing my new product, do you see the old style come out a lot more in my wrestling now? Like, AKA technical work. I'm used to not be a technical guy. Now I learned and know a lot more about technical wrestling.
Yeah.
So
do you talking about like after wrestling me and the few things I did, you kind of tweak it your own way and do your own thing?
Oh yeah. See, that's the one thing that I keep telling everybody about professional wrestling. It is, whether it's backyard, whether it's the indies, or whether it's the pros, it evolves. It is always going to evolve. There's going to be so many different things, so many different moves, so many different personalities and characters that you're going to see along the way. But you always have to retrack the steps back to its origins, which is what I'm doing now. Which is, I'm a powerhouse. I am a big guy. I do big guy moves. But at the same time, I've learned as a big guy, I can still do technical moves. I can do the technical style of wrestling. Shit, I've even, attempted and succeeded some of the time on high flying moves. It's I want to be a well-rounded competitor to where I can do a little bit of everything to where I'm not stuck in one label. And that's how I look at the art of wrestling or promo wrestling. Promo wrestling's the same way. You're going to have those different gimmicks. Like I'll give an example. My gimmick is I'm a white boy from the ghetto. I talk a lot of shit, and I'm a brawler. I'm a brawler, a technician, and a powerhouse. I basically just try to body my opponents and work them to where they either quit, submit, or get knocked out, quote unquote. Same way with promos. I talk like I'm from the ghetto. I talk like how I'm going to obliterate my opponent. And then I meet guys like Skippy the Evil Clown, a guy that's a twisted, demented clown who used psychological manipulation as a strategy to get in the minds of his opponents to alter the encounter into his direction. And then you meet guys like you. You are a straightforward talker. You cut right to the point, so that way you understand and can direct it into your momentum. It's always about, the different ways everyone else can do it. But no matter what type of way you're going to create a character in either promo wrestling, backyard wrestling, indies, or professional, you will always have to put the roots of the old time into the new time, because without that, none of this would be available to us and for us to be able to do this.
Yep. That's true. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. You don't have to leave yet, but I want to thank everybody who did attend for the Nemesis sessions tonight. This is the final episode of the season. This has been a successful season 1, Anthony. Of all the guests, I'm going to throw it out here, and of all the guests of all 24 episodes, you have made the most appearances, surprisingly. So Anthony has made the most appearances on the Nemesis session so far. Will season 2 be any different? We'll find out.
No. Fuck no. I want to talk my shit like I normally fucking do. If a motherfucker say my name, I shall appear.
So the playlist is on this channel, Taft Taylor, and you can see all 24 episodes on that playlist. So if you want to binge watch any of them or go and watch any of your favorite ones, definitely go and do that. But we're going to end it here. I want to thank you all for stopping by. We will see you at season 2 within the next month. We'll put I'll put a link, not a link, but I'll put an official date in the community tab here on YouTube. 27,470 something subscribers so far. Going strong, Anthony. So definitely want to thank everybody. This channel is here because of you guys liking wrestling. Guys like Anthony can come on here and showboat and all that good stuff, and Law and everybody else in the promo community. So we'll catch you all down the road. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next season. And
yes, sir.
Now